Hey, what is up? My name is Rubidium. Today we are looking at Filmmaker's EDC, Everyday Carry, what I bring to set when I'm shooting, when I'm scouting, but mainly the kind of stuff that I've learned through absolute near failure and disaster to have with me when I'm shooting a film. So I'm going to stay away from the overtly obvious things like a laptop and a camera and all the things that you would always think to bring to set. The iPhone is a really great filmmaking tool, not because you're going to be texting people and checking your YouTube stats between takes, because it has a light, it has a sun finder, there's a whole bunch of apps like Artemis, like a director's viewfinder. It is a really good tool on set to have. What most people don't think about is that if you're using your phone all day and you're away from power, you're going to need a backup battery that can be in the case, or it can be an external power source that you can plug your phone in during lunch so that you have enough to get back to the car or back to the studio at the end of the day. Next item is a watch. You do not want to be pulling your phone out of your pocket every time you want to see how much time is left, how much time has gone by, how much time you have. It's much easier to glance down at your watch, see where you are in your day. It doesn't need to be fancy, it doesn't need to have a timer or anything on it. As long as you're happy to wear it, you remember it, and it gets you through the day, have one on your wrist and save yourself a lot of problems. Hat and sunglasses. I would only say this because I've forgotten them before. If you are shooting outside, you are going to get burnt to a crisp if you spend 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours standing in the sun. This is not my film hat. My film hat is a big, nerdy, floppy thing that covers the back of my neck. You are not going to sleep very well, and you are not going to be happy on day 2 if you get really bad sunburn on day 1. Something else I bring on every shoot, whether I'm inside or outside, is a neck gaiter. This one was a present, has a zombie pattern printed on it, but I have ones in wool, I have ones in cotton. Purposes, it's a scarf that isn't going to get tangled in things and won't come off and keep you warm on a cold morning. You can wet it in water and put it on when it's hot, and the evaporation will keep you really cool, protects your neck from the sun, and generally just gives you a chance to be dressed appropriately. If you're shooting somewhere dusty or smoky, you can use it to filter the air that you're breathing. Very cool thing that I discovered, and now I always take with me to set. Next up is a Leatherman. You can get one with a nylon or leather pouch, put it through your belt loop, and have it on set. Make sure that it has a flat as well as a Phillips head screwdriver, has a knife for opening things or cutting cables or rope. The Leathermans have pliers, needle nose pliers, which are really great for getting things that are stuck, especially if you're the director. You're not really getting your hands that dirty, you're focused on the actors and the story. Someone somewhere at some point will need these things, and it's really great for you to have them. After all, it's your film that's going to be delayed for 20 minutes if someone has to run back to the car to get the screwdriver because you want to swap the tripod plate, but the one stuck on the camera. You shouldn't leave home without these. These are great. I have a couple of these. This is sort of a generic one from a few years ago. I'm always forgetting to put them in my checked luggage and getting them confiscated at the airport. I like the Skelly tool from Leatherman because it's light and it has a reversible driver, so it's very accessible. But pretty much anything that has a pliers, both types of screwdrivers, and a knife will get you through the day. This is a cool little thing. There was actually a gift about 15 years ago from the first DP I ever worked with, and I kind of bring it with me to set as a lucky charm. It is a Tiffin color contrast viewer, and it's a little eyepiece with a very dark ND filter that lets you look up at the sky and see how the clouds are moving without hurting your eyes from the sun, or generally just looking at things that are really bright to get a read on them before you shoot, and give you a sense of how much time you have before the cloud moves in front of the sun or moves away from the sun. But really fun, and they look like I said, this has been my lucky charm. If you are shooting nights and you are gonna have a tough time staying awake, I've tried lots of different things. I've tried coffee, I've tried energy drinks, I've tried dunking my head in cold water. All of them work to some extent, but the best thing I've found for working nights is caffeine gum. There's a military strength one on Amazon that's great. If you don't have coffee for a couple of days before you have to work at night, like during the day, and build sort of your tolerance falls, and then you can chew this stuff all night, and the sun will come up and you'll barely even notice. It's amazing stuff. I've also used it when I'm driving all night, and knock on wood, no accidents so far. Get a really good pair of gloves if you're going to be moving things and working outside. Again, not always the director's thing, but if you're on independent film, you're going to be lifting things, touching hot lights. It's awesome to have gloves. You can get these at the Home Depot or on Amazon for $15 or $20. Something that I realized, which is great for gloves, is wrapping cables or moving stands around that have been on the floor. If you're working in a warehouse or you're working outside, light cables on the ground get really filthy, and after you've wrapped up cable, your hands can be like black, and then you have to sit down and try and eat lunch, or like wash them with a water bottle and no soap. Anytime you have to touch something or lift something, super helpful to have a good pair of gloves to protect your hands. Oh, have a Sharpie on set or a pen. I use this ridiculously overbuilt thing called a tactical stylus, which I guess you can stab someone with if they try and steal your camera. But generally, you'll need to sign things, write on things, mark your water bottle, and it's really great to have a pen or something to write with in arm's reach. This is something I learned in my early filmmaking days, is the mini script. If you go into your PDF printing thing, you can put 2 pages on one page, or even 4 pages on one page, and have like a little pocket version of the script pages for that day with you, so that if someone asks for a line or you need to work out, you need to look at the script, it's not as bad as carrying around a big version of it. You can use your tactical stylus or your pen to like cross things off as you shoot them, and generally I really like having one with me. I've heard some directors go ahead and laminate a little mini script, so they just take the pages they need, or have a little binder clip in the top corner if they're working outside and things might get wet, which I think is really cool. And you end up having a collection of little laminated mini scripts at the end of your film. But generally, it really helps for the director to be on the same page as everyone else, literally. My last thing is headphones. Get a good pair of headphones. The audio guy will probably hand you some, or I've seen people trying to use earbuds. I've played around with using the Bose noise cancelling headphones on set. They come in a nice little packet. The advantage of these is that, and I only use them indoors now, the advantage of them is that they block out all the extra sound and let you focus on just what the actors are saying. As good as the Bose are, they're not industrial quality. They're not meant for hard work environments. They're meant for kicking back on a plane and listening to audiobooks. And the other danger of noise cancelling headphones is sets can be dangerous places. People can be walking around with hot or sharp or heavy things, and it's not great to isolate yourself too much from the environment around you. So get some, not earbuds, but over-the-ear cheap headphones, $10 or $20 that you almost always see around the neck of directors in behind the scenes. This will let you listen to what the actors are saying without cutting you off too much from your environment. Last but not least, I should say thank you to Armando from Mondo Bites, who inspired this segment. Has amazing videos, please check them out. Yeah, this is part 1. This is my general purpose filmmaking EDC. This is what I take to set pretty much 90% of the time I work. I'm going to do a adventure filmmaking outdoors kit for being away from power and water and those kind of things for long periods of time. So part 1, stay tuned. Part 2, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.